This week we've got a great wilderness adventure for you. We're in Foleyet, Ontario. We're about 7.5 hours north of Toronto. We're about 1 hour west of Timmins. And we're working with Air Ivanhoe. We're going to be flying into a different lake every day for a variety of species of fish. And we're going to be working with the Theriault family. Joel Theriault is going to be our guide and pilot every day. Joel, nice to see you again.
How you doing, Italo?
It's been a few years, well, 7, 8 years since we've been
Couple, yeah.
Good, good.
Things are good.
What do we got planned for today? Where are we going to go?
Well, we're going to go out to a wilderness lake and maybe have a little shore lunch if that's okay with you guys.
Do you think we'll get enough walleye?
I hope so. I mean, everything's all barometric pressure related, but I think we'll do okay.
This is going to be Mulligan's first flight.
I like it.
So this is going to be interesting. She's going to be our mascot on the water.
Perfect.
Well, I'm raring to go.
Let's go fishing. People, when you're in the mood, let's go fishing. Well, it's just me and you. Head on down to the fishing hole. Grab your hat, get your pole. Let's go fishing. When you're in the mood. Canadian Sport Fishing is brought to you by Rapala. Premium fishing gear crafted from experience. Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. Sail, the outdoors superstore. Insect Defend Patch, deep-free protection from biting insects.
You know, this is so much fun. We're all using ultralight rods, and Joel is just fishing with a bobber and a worm right now. He was using a small spinner earlier with a minnow. Barb is also using an ultralight and casting a Lucky Strike spoon. And we're just working this creek channel. Now, one thing that's helping you is the sonar, right?
Nice little depth finder tells us where it's at.
So Joel is very prepared. You can see this partially digested stickleback I'm holding in my hand. It's only about an inch. It was maybe an inch and a half long when it was whole. But that's what these trout are feeding on. Bait fish and also some insects that have been hatching. We've seen some dragonflies and some mayflies that have hatched on the surface. If you look at this trout that I have on, he's just caught on a little
you're gonna lose him.
jerk by the back hook. I'm going to try to get it in this little net.
Oh, I think you're going to lose him.
So that
you got him.
jerk, what do you mean I'm going to lose it?
Well, you just have one little hook in there.
Yeah, it just came off right now. But that little husky jerk is actually the size of some of the minnows that we've seen. Now, these are natural, and there's lots of them here in this part of Ontario. So we are going to keep a few for eating if this guy calms down and I can get my finger underneath it. They're perfect eating size, so they're much larger than what we would consider a pan-frying brook trout down south. They've just got so much energy. I was trying to get my finger underneath the gill plate and got it. Okay, so I'm just going to hold it up. They do have teeth, but if you're careful, you know, you can hold them up no problem without getting hurt. Look at the colors on this brook trout. They have a little bit of dark mottling on the belly. You can see it looks like someone's taken a brush and painted that white line. There's black, there's red, and then these beautiful yellow spots. And then look at these spots, blue with a nice little orange spot in the center, and then the vermiculations on the back. So actually, that's almost enough for one person. You know, I love fresh fish. For me, probably a couple of these with some vegetables would be a nice meal. Mulligan, isn't this a nice fish? Look, you want to have a look at it? She goes, I'm not that interested. Okay, maybe a sniff. Perfect. Okay, where's that wire basket?
Basket.
Joel? Hey, number 3, we're doing okay.
Number 3, drop them right in.
Yep, perfect.
Sounds good.
Now let me show you this husky jerk. Now let me just show you how effective this little husky jerk is. I'm going to put it in my hand right here. Look at how small that husky jerk is. Now the reason I went to that color, it's that gold color, a little bit of green, and it's got the darker back with the orange on the belly, is because Barb did so well with that gold Lucky Strike spoon. And what I've done, I'm not using a snap, and I'm not even using a fluorocarbon leader, because this braid is so fine diameter. It's 4-pound test. It's about 1 pound monofilament diameter. I've tied it direct. It has a great natural action in the water, and it seems to be just the right size. It's 6 centimeter. Even a brook trout that's 3-4 pounds will hit this thing, but also smaller ones, even 12 inches. So it's the perfect size. Beautiful colors, I can see it. Just bring it in. We're losing light, but you can still see how bright it is. See if you can lift it in, Barb.
Okay.
Hopefully it won't fall off. Now back, in southern Ontario, that would actually be a pan-frying trout. Isn't that beautiful, Barb?
Yeah, it is
Look,
beautiful.
it's so pristine. This is where it lives, and you hooked it very lightly. So I'm just going to take that one hook out.
Energy plus.
Yeah. I'm trying to be careful, but they're so slippery, as you know. I'm trying to hold on to them. See if I can hold it this way. And you hooked it really well, just with that small hook, just through the lower jaw. So I'm just going to toss it in the water. There it goes. Now that's a small spinner that Barb caught it on. It's a Vibrex #1, and you can see that it's a green color. It's almost like leopard frog. The bell has a little bit of white on it in green, and then it's got this nice hackle. So it almost looks like an insect. I think, Barb, when insects are hatching and we don't have our fly rods, using a spinner like this that's got a little bit of a fly on it, a hackle like that, is perfect, because sometimes it'll fool the brookies into hitting it, just like the one you got.
Exmark, you find fish catch of the day.
Hello, Terry. It's Tony from Canadian Sport Fishing calling. So, listen, you took a nice picture, a nice pike. You uploaded it on our app. I'm going to interview you. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Go.
It was just a rainy day in February, and we weren't having good luck in the morning at all. So we decided to switch locations, and within about 15 minutes, got those 2 pike you see in the picture there, and it was an exciting day.
Dynamite. Who were you with?
I was with my brother-in-law, who I've learned most of my fishing from, actually, and I got the app on my Android phone, and it's been absolutely incredible. The hot spots are amazing. The pictures you can upload and stuff. It's a absolutely awesome app. I just want to give a shout out to my fiance BJ and my brother-in-law Phil, and I'm back out this afternoon to try and catch the same amount of pike.
Nice fish.
Nice fish. Okay, let me get the net out. I don't want you to get your hands wet.
I think I can do this just
Are you
like
sure?
this.
Okay.
Now, do you want to keep 1 or 2 for a shore lunch for lunch?
How about 4 to 6?
4 to 6?
Yeah.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Okay, I've got a stringer ready.
We got a stringer. Let's put them on the stringer.
Now, we should tell the viewers the limit's 4 fish a person here.
4
when they
walleye a
come out.
person on a regular license, of which one of them can be above 18.1 inches. We're going to have to measure this one here so we have a good idea how long he is.
Yeah, he's not 18.
I think he's probably about 17, but
yeah, perfect size. Nice fillets off it. Now look at how plump and how beautiful colored this fish is. Nice gold color. Very healthy northern walleye. When you come up here to Air Ivanhoe, there's so many places you can fish. You can fish right on Ivanhoe Lake in the Ivanhoe River. We heard stories this morning.
a lot of nice walleye out
No,
there.
but I saw the fillets, big walleyes, lots of walleyes, just minutes from the actual main lodge where people fly out of, or they can fly to this lake. How many lakes do you fly people into?
Well, we've got 35 outpost cabins on
Wow.
different lakes, and then we probably fly to another 35 lakes where we've just got boats and motors that we just go in for day trips.
Yeah, and then, well, yesterday we went for brook trout.
Yeah,
and we
yesterday.
Just used the ATV.
Used the
and
ATV
vehicle.
because the weather wasn't cooperating.
Amazing. Okay.
But a lot of nice fish, and let's go get some more.
Now, when did Air Ivanhoe start?
Well, my grandpa started this just after World War II. He was a pilot in World War II and came out of the service in the early 1950s and started his own operation with a float plane. And it started small with a small float plane and one canoe, and then over time we built up and built up. And
did
now
he always love to fish? Was he always an outdoor kind of guy?
Oh, ever since he was a kid.
Good.
You know, pretty well everybody who grows up in Northern Ontario learns to love to fish because there's not much else to do.
Of course.
So when I'm filleting a pike, it's a little bit different than a walleye. The pike have a Y bone, the walleye have more of a cross, is what it is, coming off the spine. So instead of going straight down the side on a pike like you would on a walleye, what I like to do is I like to take the top piece first, and you hold in behind the gill plates, you cut right down, you'll cut right down to the spine, and you'll feel the Y bones. And you basically want to do is you want to bounce right off the top of the Y bones, and you want to run your knife all the way down. So now you've got your Y bones exposed. The next thing you do is very similar to a walleye. You're going to just trim down around the outside of the Y bone, and you're going to go in. It looks like a giant hourglass is what this bone structure looks like. So you're going to cut in on the outside of the Y bone. When you start to get towards the tail, the Y bone comes in very tight to the tail, and you make that cut, and then you do your same cut on the outside to free the meat. Use your knife just like on a walleye and just kind of bounce yourself down the side of the rib cage, and then what we're going to end up with here in a minute is a perfectly boneless pike fillet. We've got this piece of meat right here. This is totally boneless. What I like to do when I'm pulling this apart is I like to cut it right in the middle and just cut it right down the center, and the reason is it just makes it a little easier to take off the meat. Now, one of the things for pike, a lot of people say that they taste really gamey. It's the belly fat on the pike is what it really is. And so on pike especially, what I like to do is I like to trim that belly fat off. You don't really want to cut into it too much. You more just try to push it off. And then what I like to do is I like to be able to grab at the tail and use it as a grab to help me pull the meat off. Now, when you are pulling the meat off, occasionally you'll go through the skin. It's not a big deal. And just go nice and gently when you're pulling this meat off, and the meat should separate. And there's one totally boneless pike fillet, completely boneless. And the last chunk of meat is the chunk of meat right in between the Y bones and the spine. If you take your time at this, you can run on the inside of the Y bone this time, and then on the outside of the spine. You know, that's one way to do it. Or, you know, if you're not too picky and you don't mind having a little bit of bones in your meat, cook the whole thing. Or if you're a little bit squirmy, you're a little bit finicky on having bones in your meal, you can take the fish right off the bones before you start cooking it. On these pieces, on the back strap pieces, in between the back straps and the spine, generally easier to cook the whole thing and then separate it after the fact. But either way.
Well, we just had a wonderful shore lunch that Joel prepared. He showed us a new technique on filleting pike, which was awesome. How to take the meat off without the Y bones. Now we've come out here. This is the first
Big
fish.
walleye.
Look at this.
Big walleye.
First fish.
Look at that guy.
Look at that, Barb. Right off the bat. First fish. Amazing. Okay, bring him in the boat.
Oh, it's a monster.
Good, look it.
That's
You
the
nutted it
biggest-
just at the right time, Barb.
Oh, good.
Actually, the hook straightened out a little bit.
Let me get a tape measure out for you,
Yeah,
Italo. What would you
thank
guess
you.
that guy would be at?
Thank you. I'm guessing he's in the 20s, maybe 23. What do you think?
That would be my guess, somewhere in there as well.
Beautiful long fish. Look, you're prepared with everything.
I'm ready. So what do we
Okay.
got here? We got 20,
Squeeze the tail.
22. He's a 22
I figured
incher.
around 23, 24.
Yeah, he's
It's
a nice fish. Really
yeah,
nice
he's
walleye.
so well proportioned. Look, you can see that he's been working out, so he's nice and lean, big head. Can you see some teeth in there? Talk about a predatorial fish that likes to eat smaller fish.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Nathan Boats, Canada's finest aluminum boats.
You know, whenever you're traveling up north, and at Air Ivanhoe, they have many lakes that you can fly into for a myriad of game fish. A couple of lures to take with you that are really versatile is the Rapala series that look like minnows. Now, what I'm holding up here is the Rapala Husky Jerk. That's in my right hand. In the center is the original Rapala, and then on the left is the Rapala X-Rap. Now, why these work so good? Number one, they look like the bait fish that the larger predator fish feed on. Number two, you can fish them at different depths. So you can troll these, you can weigh them down to get near the bottom if you're fishing for walleye, or if you're casting along shorelines for smallmouth and pike, you can twitch them. So you can see these three sizes look large, but you know what? They work really well. So along with your spoon, spinners, and jigs, next time you travel up north, make sure to have these three Rapala lures. You're going to catch a lot of fish. Nice
He's
fish.
about a 3-pounder.
Yeah. I
It's
guess
not huge.
he's just under 24 inches, I think. Good fish. Now, Joel, what's the average size of the pike in this lake?
I think for this lake, probably a 3 to 5-pounder would probably be about average.
And you said there's pike and bass, right?
Pike,
Smallmouth?
bass, perch. There's whitefish. This is a
What?
very diverse
Wow.
water body.
Now, he's hooked really well. I'm going to let you take the hooks out of the net. I'm going to hold him up. Joel
you.
said that he was going to take us into a pike lake where there's nice cedar pike. So what we're going to do is have a nice feed of pike. He showed us the other day how to fillet them so that you get all the bones out of them. And you know what? A pike that's just under 24 inches or 2 feet long is perfect for eating. Now, Joel got his on a pink twister with a pink head. That's his favorite combination, at least the head, for walleye pike. So I'm not surprised that you put that on again. Okay, I'm going to put him on our stringer. We got a couple of fish on there already. You know, a lot of the lakes that Air Ivanhoe go into, some are fly-in lakes, some are walk-in lakes, right, Joel?
That's right.
Some are drive-in lakes, but they're not lakes that are commonly fished by any of the locals because they don't know where they are. So I think that's a big asset. Look it. So there's 3. We're going to get a bunch of them because these are going to be excellent eating. As you can tell from the white caps and the way these trebles are swinging in the wind, it's pretty windy. One of the things when you're planning on flying to wilderness outpost camps in a floatplane, you got to choose the right time. So they were flying today, but very early and very late, probably this evening, to pick people and move them around. So today we decided to drive to one of the many wilderness lakes that they have here at Air Ivanhoe, and we chose pike and smallmouth bass. Our go-to lure was a Rapala twitch bait. And what I'm holding up is probably one of the most effective. It's the Husky Jerk. And this particular one is the number 12, which stands for 12 centimeters. This is one of the new colors. You can see it's got like a purpley blue back and a nice chartreuse stripe down the side with the silver and pearl belly. What we did was target shorelines where the drop-off was close to shore because there really weren't any weeds to speak of in the lake that we were fishing. And it was a spring-fed lake, so the water was very clear. We found that if we worked our twitch bait close to those fast-dropping breaks, that's where we caught most of the pike. Most avid anglers will agree that one of the most important components to their fishing gear is their line. Whether you're fishing for large fish or small fish, it's very important that you use a newer line, especially if you've fished a lot. You got to change that line. And also, it's important to have that line filled to within 1/8 inch of your spool so that you get really good castability. So if you have your drag set right, your line is fairly new, you'll land the fish. The only problem is that a lot of people will discard old fishing lines where they're out fishing, or they won't put it in the garbage. Whether it's this braided line that I've got right here, or this old monofilament line that someone's discarded. The problem with leaving these out in the environment is that they take a long time to break down. Also, they're very dangerous for wildlife. It's very easy for the waterfowl that's here and other animals to get tangled up, and sometimes it even causes death. So the best thing to do, if you have line that you're going to be discarding, don't leave it on the shoreline or throw it in the water. Stick it in your pocket, take it home, and dispose of it properly. Beautiful. Smallmouth bass.
There it goes.
Okay, a little closer.
Yeah.
I don't care if the lure gets caught in the net. Barb, nice fish. You know what? In a minute, I'm going to get you to hold it.
Okay.
I just want to get the hook out of it. And that's a nice, it's at least 3.5 pounds, Barb.
Yes.
It threw the first hook. So I'm just trying to get the lure out of the net. Hopefully it won't thrash around because these hooks on the Max Wrap are extremely sharp. You know what? We'll get the hooks out later. Let me get the pliers.
Okay.
I'm just going to get the hook out of the fish. And then you're going to hold the fish, Barb, and I'm going to get a nice photo.
Okay.
You got to hold it really strong, okay? It's got
Okay.
a lot of spunk.
Yep.
Ready?
Yeah,
With
these
your right hand.
got lots of energy.
You got it? Really
No,
tight?
No. Okay.
Okay. If you
Okay.
want to just go back a little bit, Barb,
Okay.
I'm going to get a really nice photo of you. You can sit down if you'd like.
I'll stand.
Okay. Okay, big smile. Nice bass right here from Ivanhoe. Good one. Nice photo. Okay, we're going to put him back in the... Actually, you know what? Why don't you put it over the side, Barb? We're not going to put it in the net because the hook's there. Just lean over the side
Okay.
and let it revive a little bit. I think it's going to have lots of power. So just hold it there for a split second, and it'll hold it out from the boat if you can, and it'll probably swim away. If you can slide your left hand under its belly
Okay.
and just move it a little bit to the right.
Yes.
Okay, Barb, if you lower it, it'll probably swim right out of your hands because we didn't have it out of the water very long. Yeah, you can let go of it.
And there it
goes.
goes.
Right to the bottom. Look at that, nice
Head shake.
tail
Look
walk.
at the head
You
shake.
know what? That's a good size smallmouth. I think we got to watch what Barb's doing exactly. Good size smallmouth.
He's got some jump to
Yeah,
him.
yeah, nice fish.
Lots of energy.
Yeah. Barb, that's got to be a solid 18-incher. And you can see that max wrap, beautiful, nice color.
That's a
this
13
particular
inch.
one, yeah, it's a 13-inch or 13 centimeter. So that's what they're all marked. I'm just going to take the hooks out. I see Joel, he's ready with the tape measure to confirm my guess.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Joel, what's your guess?
I don't know. I would guess somewhere in the 19-inch range. He's a beauty.
Okay.
Beautiful. Pinch the tail.
17 and a half, 18 and is what it looks like. 18,
Good.
maybe 18 and a half, 19 with the jaw
Good
closed.
fish.
Beautiful
Okay,
fish.
Barb, I'm going to give you the honors again.
Okay.
I'm going to put it in the net, and you can release it.
Okay.
Okay. Honey, here you go. I'm going to hand you the net. Well done.
Okay.
And just literally move the net upside down, and he'll go right out of there, Barb.
Okay.
Yeah, look, he wants to go already, okay?
He does. He's
Let
got
it-
lots of
yeah,
energy.
get him out. Get him out. Let him go. We turn the net upside down like that. Look it. There he
There
goes.
goes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What a big bass,
It is
Barb.
nice.
Well done, Barb.
Thank you.
Canadian Sport Fishing is brought to you by Suffix, the world's most hardcore fishing line. Yamaha Outboards, reliability starts here. Sail, the outdoors superstore. Insect Defend Patch, deep-free protection from biting insects.
I wanted to show you this map because this is a log from a few guys that were fishing for 1 week, and it was around this time. Look at 29th to the 31st and June 1st. The same lake that we were fishing today. Look at the fish here. Friday, the first day they arrived, walleye 190, pike 4. The next day, 100 walleye, 3 northerns. And you can see the numbers all the way down every day. Look at the total, 682 walleye, 26 northern. And I bet this doesn't count all the fish that they would have had on and lost.